So project procurement management includes the processes necessary to purchase or acquire products or services or result needed from outside the project. So the organization can be either buyer or seller of the product, services or result of a process. So usually when we are trying to talk about procurement, you will be the buyer and you will be analyzing the sellers and so on. But you need to, the buyers can be customer, client, I mean they can be named as, as various names. As appropriate in the context of that industry. Sellers can be contractors, subcontractors, they can be sellers, contractors, subcontractors, then consultants and so on. Okay, they will who will provide us with product, services or result for a project. So it may be a part of project, it may be a big part of project, or very small part of project, but we need to follow these processes in procurement. Moving to the next slide, plan procurement management. This is the process of documenting project procurement decisions, specifying the approach and identifying the potential sellers. So it is all about how rest of the processes, that is conduct, control and close procurements. So how they will be performed, what will be their tools and techniques that will be specified in or that will be documented in procurement management plan. So which is an output of this process. So you can see there are many inputs to this process. You have project management plan, requirement documentation, risk register, activity resource requirement, project schedule. Sorry. Then activity cost estimate, stakeholder register, EEF and OBA. Okay. So you will see these make or buy analysis, expert judgment anyway we know, but we'll see the tool and technique make or buy analysis which will be applied to the inputs in order to come out with a procurement management plan or procurement SOW. Which will become input to the performing organizations as we saw, right? So this is a part wherein we'll see what alternatives are available, and as a part of it we can do a market research. What is market research? If we want to procure something, market research suggests that who are the entities who are the competitors who sell the same product, service or result, and what is their competitive advantage, what is essentially the factors that differentiates them from the others, and how it is relevant to the part in a project wherein you're buying that product, service or result from that organization makes sense to us. And essentially that's how the market research will be done, wherein you may have the different team which will be doing, and this market research is a tool and technique that will be used. Some of the procurement activities will be, you will usually have different department for procurement, and which will look into these the processes, and you will be part of providing the inputs in terms of RFP and RFI, giving requirements, giving technical inputs, participating in meeting and while clarifying those technical input to the sellers. Okay, so that will be the part of your meetings. Then expert judgment we already know. So as a part of, you can see there are many inputs. The output is also many for plan procurement management, unlike a lot of other plan area wherein you have one single output. For example, last few processes we have been seeing, right? So what is the output of plan procurement management apart from procurement management plan? We'll see the components of this in short while. that is procurement statement of work, so SOW, which will become again, we have seen this becoming as input to our initial initiating process group process, which is essentially develop project charter. SOW becomes input to the performing organization's project. Here I am assuming when I am doing the plan procurement, I am a buyer. Okay, so let me clarify that. So we'll go ahead and issue a request for a proposal, request for information, the procurement documents. That will be outcome of this. Source selection criteria, we'll have the selection criteria based on various characteristics that will be detailed out or essentially documented. Then make or buy decisions as a part of make or buy analysis, we'll see. There may be some change requests that might come out due to analyzing these make or buy decisions, and we may perform those change requests. It will go to appropriate next process of integrated change management process. Then project document update, and that's what we have. We have here procurement management plan. This procurement management plan describes how the procurement will be done on the project. So these are the components. What type of contract will be there, against what will the estimates will be verified, are dependent estimates required, who will prepare them, recommend any preferred vendors. Pre-qualified vendors is something with whom certification is already done, and they are certified and they can be used in terms of comparing the prices and so on for the requested kind of work. Then when you are going to outsource, of course, standard documentation to be used for RFP, contract, SOW, lead times. There may be a kind of authorization required before going those certain processes to be followed, few approvals to be taken before you can even float RFP and go ahead with SOW. And while contracting, you will have to explain it to the signing authorities, could be the top management. Lead times, constraints, and assumptions, those will be documented as a part of procurement management plan. So metrics to be used for managing contracts and sales. That will, like whatever variances we talk about, those can be considered. So conduct procurement. This is the process of obtaining seller responses, selecting a seller, and awarding contract. So we'll cover those in coming slides. Okay. Here inputs are again many: project management plan, procurement documents, source selection criteria, seller proposal, then project documents, make or buy decisions, which we saw doing earlier, procure statement of work, organizational process assets, and so. So you will do the bidder conferences, wherein essentially this is a place wherein all the sellers will come together and buyer will try to will go on explaining all the kinds of requirements. So technical team will be involved here, and all the requirements will be evaluated, and essentially a lot of questions from sellers will be answered, and those answered questions can be collected as and put as a part of your project document update. So output of, so you have multiple tools and techniques, advertising, analytical techniques, procurement, negotiation, which we'll see in the slides that are there. Okay, and in upcoming slides. The output of this is selected sellers, agreements, resource calendars, change requests, project management plan updates, and project document updates. So which so when you conduct procurements, essentially you have already given SOW, then project document, and you will you will have the seller proposal coming out of as an input, and you will essentially perform or select the sellers based on this. You will go ahead and do the agreements with the sellers as a requesting organization, right? And you will do the essentially with agreement with the sellers, which will cover both buyer and seller constraints, and you will have essentially in terms of payment it will be for seller, in terms of buying, in terms of scope, and how we do the change management, and we'll see the resource calendars as part of this. We may have then change request would come out, and usual project management plan update and project. Control procurement. In here again, as I said, a lot of tools mentioned over here. We might cover it in the next slides. All right. So let's take these tools one by one. Bidder conferences, I already explained. Proposal evaluation technique. In this, you evaluate the proposal, have the criteria such as cost, time, and identify which are the important ones, and so on. Then we have independent estimates. You have your own estimates coming out from your own team that can be compared against the proposals that are coming in terms of the activity estimates, in terms of deliverable estimates, cost estimates, and resource estimates, and so on. You use expert judgment. You ensure that you are advertising enough so that you get more and more participation, and you receive more seller proposals as a part of this. Then you use analytical techniques in which you analyze all the information that is being collected as part of about tools and techniques, and come out with the selected sellers. So procurement negotiations, as a part of this, if you feel one of the source, one of the seller is very effective in terms of the quality, and however his price is little higher compared to others, but we know that he will meet the deadlines. He have all the requisite resources. He is but he's costly. In that case, you can initiate a procurement negotiation with that seller and try to bring down the cost, because it will bring down your risk also, your lot of things that you do as a part of your project activities that goes to this organization, and as a part of this, you may get to select that seller at little higher cost, but saving but close by to the other seller's cost. So those are the things that we do in conduct procurement. I'm going to cover this control procurement quickly, and then we'll move on. We'll do the questions tomorrow. So let's cover this control procurement quickly. It is the process of managing procurement relationships, monitoring and contract performance. So contract performance will have the metrics also that will be measured against. It will have the plan also, and you will have any changes required, corrections, and preventive actions that will be discussed based on work performance reports and work performance data that is available by the performing organization or the seller. So he will give us the input in terms of project management plan, procurement documents, the agreements which are more important in terms of the timeliness of the deliverables, what are the milestones, are they getting met or not. Then approach change request will be part of that, and we'll use these various tools and techniques to come out with one work performance information, which will tell us whether there is a change request required or not. And as part of that, we'll do project management plan update, project doc. So this is a project management plan for the requesting organization that is coming in. Procurement documents and agreements will be the part of both performing and as well as the requesting organization, buyer and seller. So the tools and techniques, various tools and techniques are a contract change control system. So there will be any change that happens will, just like change control board, the contract change control system will be used for managing the contract change, any changes to the contract. Procurement performance reviews, how the seller is performing in terms of time, cost, quality, and so on. We'll do the, as a part of that, tools and techniques will use inspections and audits to accept the deliverables, and audits to suggest any changes to the processes, and any this will lead to approved change request, or this will lead to change request in form of corrective action, preventive actions, and essentially any defects that are identified. Performance reporting, these will be the tools, work performance report, so we'll analyze that. Payment system will be used because this is procurement. There may be payments need to be done against milestone achieved. That will be evaluated, and we'll do the payments. Claims administration, claim is something which is dispute between the seller and buyer, right? Performing and requesting organization. So there will be a process already defined, the escalation, and how it will be analyzed, and essentially you need to do the claim administration, whether the approve the claim, reject the claim based on the evidences that are there in front of us, and records management system to make record of it. So that's about it. This is a process. Okay, this is a process wherein we go about this is. So I'm just reading it for you. In this process, we are ensuring that both the buyers and sellers meet the terms of contract. So what do buyer meet? What do sellers do? Sellers produce deliverables, that is product, service, or result. That will be verified by the buyer, and essentially buyer will have to pay against the deliverables met and as per the contract. So it is all within your, most of the time the contract administrator needs to work together. The contract administration, due to varying organizational structure, many organizations treat contract administration as a separate administration function, separate from project organization. So separate in the sense compared to your, and it is again a functional function which is is required only during that procurement process, and hence project manager needs to cooperate or coordinate with contract administrator. They need to work together to ensure that seller meets his obligations as a vendor, and just as vendor, and will ensure that buyer and vendor also ensures that buyer honors its commitment of the contract. So in this project procurement management, we are considering ourselves as a buyer, but at times will be the seller also, and hence in that case as a seller we could be a vendor, and we have to ensure that buyer honors his commitments of the contract in terms of timely payment and so on. Okay. So the project management processes that are applied, they may include direct and managed project execution to authorize seller work. So during control procurements, what the performing organization does is this: direct and managed project. So from buyer's perspective, he needs to ensure that he authorizes seller's work while he's doing direct and managed project execution. Then report performance to monitor contract scope, cost, schedule, and technical performance. So seller will report the performance, and as a buyer you have to monitor contract scope, cost, schedule, and technical performance. See that it is meeting all the milestone, it is meeting all the quality requirement, it is meeting all the cost and schedule requirement. And it is of course working on the risk that were identified and communicated to us. So perform quality control. This is how we inspect the validated deliverable. Essentially, we take the deliverable and quality control. We verify the adequacy of seller's product. So essentially, we approve the deliverable in case which has come out from perform quality control process. Okay. Then we perform the integrated change control to assure that changes are properly approved. As a part of change control board, the customer, that is if we are requesting organization, will be part of that, our buyer will be part of that, and as a customer will be approving or contesting in case changes are correct or not, and so on. And there could be claims that could become an issue, and it will be managed separately as per the process. So that's all we do in control procurements that we saw yesterday. Okay, the change requests go to essentially perform integrated change control, etc. Right. Moving on to the next slide, to close procurements, it is the process of completing each project procurement. So all the project procurement will be, so that's the reason it is saying close procurements and not just procurement, S is there. So every project procurement will be closed as a part of close procurements process. So in this, it's simple, straightforward, wherein we have the project management plan and procurement documentation. We do the procurement audit, whether 100% of deliverables are verified and approved, and let's say there will be some procurement negotiations based on new change requests that arrive. Yeah, I will try to cover, Sujata, but I'll try to cover it at end. You'll have to remind me. Okay. So we were talking about procurement audits, procurement negotiations. So audit is we inspect, we audit all the procurement documentation and see it has gone as per the procurement management plan, which is a subsidiary plan of project management plan. Okay, so audits will be performed, and if there are no major findings, whatever minor findings, they will be noted, and if required, will be closed as a part of procurement negotiations. So procurement negotiation is something usually in scope, out of scope. A lot of times what happens is there could be some ambiguity, and as a part of that, the requesting organization, the buyer, may not agree that it is a change request, whereas as per seller, it is a change request, and he is essentially looking into the procurement. He is looking into it as a change request, whereas buyer is saying, no, this is not a change request, it is a part of scope, you just check it out. So it becomes a claims administration, and so we, as a part of closed procurements, if still claim is not closed, at appropriate time it should be closed, but if it is not closed, we can do the negotiations, saying, looking at the overall value of the project, this should be waived off, or something like that could happen from buyer side. Similarly, from seller side, he will say, this is a small value, why don't you add it, and so on. So some negotiations will happen on both the sides, arguments will be made, and this will be used as a tool to close the procurements. So record management system will record all the procurement documentation, all the negotiations and audit outcomes, and it will go towards organizational process asset updates. So that's about it. We do close procurement over here, and as we are all aware of that, This is 12th module of PMBOK study guide, PMBOK guide, and this module has four processes, out of which this is the last process, which belongs to in IPEC closing process group.